Want to spin up your own Minecraft, Rust, or Valheim server and let your friends and kids stop it and start it from a web UI without ever touching the console? Let me show you Pterodactyl. Pterodactyl is a free open source game server management panel. It runs each of your game servers inside its own isolated Docker container with per server CPU, RAM, and disk limits, a web file manager, SFTP access, and per user accounts. I'm your host, Evan. Let's deploy Pterodactyl. Pterodactyl is not a single Docker container you deploy in Dockage. It's actually two pieces: the panel, which is the web UI, and Wings, which is the daemon that runs your game servers. Wings needs Docker, systemd, and full system control of its own file system. So the cleanest way to run this in TrueNAS is inside an LXC container with the new TrueNAS 26 containers feature. Before we create the container, there are two quick things to do on TrueNAS itself. First, we need to go to containers, and then in the configuration in the top right, click the drop-down arrow and click Settings. For your preferred pool, you're going to want to put this on a pool that both A, has enough space, and B, is fast if you have SSDs. Because you're going to be storing your games on this, some of those can get very big, so most people will just put this on a tank pool in order to make sure that they don't run out of space. As for the bridge, I've got this on BR1. I've already created a bridge, and if you haven't, you're going to want to do that so this is reachable from the rest of your LAN. I've made a video on how to do this. Go ahead and check it out. I've put a link in the video description below. After you built your bridge, make sure it's selected here and hit save. Now we need to create a dataset for all of our games to live in, and I'm going to go to datasets. I'm going to make a new dataset in Tank by clicking the button on the top right for add dataset. I'm going to call this Pterodactyl. I'm going to leave the dataset preset as generic and click save. Don't worry about permissions for now. It's going to be set through the LXC itself. Now we need to create our container. Click the containers on the very left, and in the top right, click create new container. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Pterodactyl. For the image, I'm going to click browse catalog, and I'm just going to type the first few letters of Trixie here, and then I'm going to pick the one all the way on the bottom and click select. Click the advanced options button to expand the menu. Scroll all the way to the bottom to the ID mapping and capabilities section. Set the ID map type to privileged, and then for the capabilities, select allow all. Then click create. You should now see your new container on the left side, and on the right, we're going to want to find the file system devices box and click add. For the host directory sources, we're going to find the Pterodactyl dataset I just made in my mount tank pool. Once I click Pterodactyl, the container mount path has to be something very specific. It's going to be at var lib pterodactyl volumes. Don't worry about pausing this video. I've included all these instructions in the wiki, and we're going to jump there in a minute. Click save. Now start the Pterodactyl container by clicking the start button, which looks like the play button all the way on the right. Once it shows up as running, in the very bottom right, click the tools and then shell icon. You should see a shell that looks like this with a little hashtag. Now let's jump over to the wiki for some of the commands we need to run. On the wiki in the top, search for Pterodactyl, and when you see it, hit enter. We've already done prerequisites from 2.1 and 2.2. At the very bottom of 2.2, we now have to go to step 3 where it says click your container shell and paste this into prep it. Let's copy this whole block of text and go back to TrueNAS and paste those commands and hit enter. Now I want to do one more thing. I want to type IP space A. I need to know the address of this box. In this case, it's 1099.0.193. I'm going to copy that and put it somewhere safe. Now I can continue on with the rest of the commands. Jump back to the wiki, scroll down to section 2.3, which is install Pterodactyl and Wings. Go ahead and copy this whole curl command and then paste it back in the TrueNAS shell for the container. You're going to be prompted with a menu that says, what would you like to do? We're going to use option 2, which is install both Panel and Wings on this machine. Most of the defaults that it's going to ask you are correct, and I'll tell you which ones to change. So for database name, just hit enter, leave it default. For database username, just leave it default. For our password, you're going to want to set a strong password. For the time zone, you're going to need to set it to your correct time zone. I'm in America, New York, so I'll leave it like that. It's going to ask me for an email address for Let's Encrypt. Any email works. Then it's going to ask me for an email address for the initial admin account, and this is going to become your login. So pick an email that you want to use. Again, it doesn't really matter what it is. Just remember. The username, I'm going to give it a username, and it's going to ask me for my first name and my last name, and I'm just going to put in some admin information here. And then I have to set a strong password for this account. And then it's going to ask me for the FQDN of this account, and this is why I told you to write down that IP address. If you have a domain that you're reverse proxying, so it's reachable from everywhere, this is where you're going to want to enter that. I don't have that. So I'm just going to use the IP address of this container. It's going to ask me about configuring the firewall. Again, leave this default. I don't want to use it. All right, so now it's going to ask me to continue with the installation. I'm going to hit Y to continue. All right, we are successfully installed now, and it's asking me if I want to enable sending anonymous telemetry data. The default is yes, but I am absolutely putting no. All right, now it says installation of panel completed. Do you want to proceed to the Wings installation? I have to type Y here to go to Wings, and we're going to get a very similar set of questions that we just got for the panel. So yes, we do want to proceed. No, I do not want to use a firewall as default, just hit enter. To automatically configure user for database hosts. I actually do want to change this to yes, so type Y. Do I want to configure my SQL to be accessed externally? Again, I want to change this to Y. It's going to ask for the panel address. I'm going to leave this blank for any address, so I'm just going to hit enter. The database host username is fine. I'm going to hit enter. The host password, I can just set a strong password here. It's going to ask me if I want to automatically configure HTTPS. I'm going to use no because I'm going to do this LAN only. And I'm going to click Y to proceed with the installation. Wings installation has been completed, and it gave us a bunch of instructions here, but you go ahead and follow the instructions in this video, and I'm going to show you what to do from here, because these are a little bit out of order. Let's start by opening up a new tab, and let's go to the address that was given to us after we started our container. So now I'm prompted for the username or email, and my username was admin, and enter your strong password here. When we log in, we're going to get the stupid login check, so I can click through all this. All right, so now we are in the Pterodactyl panel, where the first thing we want to do is go to the little cog icon on the top right for the admin settings. On the very left, you'll see the locations tab. Go ahead and click that, create a new location, and I'm just going to call mine home, and I'm just going to click create. Now on the left, go to nodes, and then click create new on the top right, and I'm just going to give this a name. I'm going to call it home node. For the FQDN, I need to use the same IP address that I've been using this whole time, which in my case is 193. For the communication over SSL, I choose not to use any Let's Encrypt certs. So I'm just going to use the HTTP connection because this is all local. For the memory and disk section on the right where it says configuration, we need to set caps for how much RAM and disk all the game servers on this node can collectively go through. So whatever your hardware allows for, that's fine. In this case, I'm not going to allow it to go past 5 gigs. And because this is a virtual machine, I don't have a ton of memory. So again, I'll probably pick maybe 3 gigs of memory with maybe 5% over allocations on both of these. Leave the ports the same and click create node. Now we can set some IP address allocations if we want. And I'm going to do that now just to save myself from having to come back and do it later. So for the assign new allocations on the right, I'm going to paste the IP address of this server. I'm going to leave the IP alias blank, and I'm just going to set a port range here. For the port range, I'm going to paste 25565 through 25575, which gives me about a 10 port range. Hit tab and then click submit. On the top, you'll see this big green bar that says you have successfully made the allocations, and you'll see all your ports show up here. Now let's jump to our configuration tab in the middle. And on the right where it says auto deploy, we're going to want to generate this token. Once the token is generated, we need to copy everything in here and go back to TrueNAS. Once we're back in the container shell, paste the command that we just copied from the auto generate and hit enter. We should see a message that says successfully configured Wings. Now we need to run one more command to start Wings. Go back to the wiki, scroll down all the way until you get to step 8 under section 3, where it says next paste this to start and enable Wings. I'm going to go ahead and copy this command, jump back to TrueNAS, and paste the command and hit enter. We know it works when we see active and running in this middle section. Now we can go back to Pterodactyl, click OK, click nodes in the left side, and I should see a green heart here with a little version where my home node is letting me know it's connected. Now let's create a game server just to test and make sure this is actually working. Go over to servers in the left side and click create new on the top right. Let's give our server a name, and I'm just going to call it game server. On the drop down box, I'm going to expand it and find my admin email address. My allocation management is fine. It's already allocating to my first port that I've already set. I don't need additional allocations here. I'm just going to leave it. Down in resource management, as I scroll down, I'm just going to add zeros for the memory and the disk space. And I'm not going to put anything for CPU pinning. This is safe to do because I just set the upper limits before for the overall game server. So that'll allow this egg to eat up as much of that overall as it needs to. I am going to enable the OOM killer just in case, for whatever reason, this virtual machine completely runs out of space. It's not going to lock up on me. As I scroll down, I'm going to leave it as Minecraft, and my egg is paper, but I'm going to change it to vanilla Minecraft. The Docker image is fine here. I'm going to leave that as default. I'm going to leave all this other things as default, and I'm going to click Create Server. At the top in green, I should see that the server was successfully created on the panel, and then to please allow the Daemon a few minutes to completely install the server. When I click the servers in the left side, we can now see my server list includes game server, it has a UID, it has a connection, and it is active, letting me know everything is up and running, and I am successfully running vanilla Minecraft. Did you know I'm available for hire? If you would like a free quote, follow the Hire Me link in the video description below to book time with me one-on-one. Looking at Pterodactyl's project health, the panel repo is sitting around 8,800 stars with about 130 releases. The most recent release at the time of this recording is version 1.12.1, which dropped in February 2026 and patched a critical CVE. The security fixes are still landing. That said, and this is important, the original Pterodactyl developers have largely moved to a new project called Pelican, which is a fork of Pterodactyl. Pterodactyl itself is in maintenance mode. It still works great and the community is huge, the egg ecosystem is enormous, but the active feature development has shifted elsewhere. Comparing this to other game server panels, there are basically four real options. Pelican, which we just discussed, is the spiritual successor to Pterodactyl. It has the same architecture, a more modern UI, faster plugin system, and the original devs are all over there now anyway. The downside is it's still labeled as beta in a lot of community conversations, and the egg ecosystem hasn't fully migrated over yet. If you want the bleeding edge, Pelican is where I'd point you, and we may do a separate video on that later. Let me know in the comments below if that's something you're interested in. Pyrodactyl is also another fork that's all about performance. They claim 16 times faster page loads and a way smaller bundle, but it's also pre-release. Lastly, AMP from Cube Coders is a polished commercial option. It's a great product, but it's paid, and the whole point of this channel is self-hosting on a budget. For me today in late April 2026, Pterodactyl is still the right pick for most home labbers because the egg library is huge, the documentation is dense, and every guide on the internet still references it. It's a boring, stable choice, and boring is sometimes good. If you're building this for a small group of friends and want it to just work, you're probably going to want to stay on Pterodactyl. But if you're a tinker who wants to be on the absolute edge, keep an eye on Pelican. What game servers do you guys like to run? Let me know in the comments below. If this helped you, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We cover self-hosting apps every single week. If you want to see content YouTube won't let us show you, head over to Patreon. There's a link in the video description below. If you want to join the conversation, jump into our Discord. The link is also in the video description below. If you guys have never been to this channel before, go ahead and check out our Best of Containers video. I launch one every single month covering the best containers of that past month. I'm going to put a link to the playlist in the video description below. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, stay curious.